G and Q review with Patrick. What is going on, my dudes?
Not much. I'm fresh back from Vegas. My cells are thirsty. I'm dried out in the desert. But
Sin
we're back.
City. Are you recovered? Are you?
I am recovered.
Did you do a lot of drinking?
Whoa, Quinn.
What?
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
I can ask
Too many questions.
high-level questions.
I did a fair amount of drinking.
Nice.
Did you? Sorry, I'm really excited. Did you or did you not get a daiquiri?
No daiquiris.
No daiquiri.
No. A couple Red Bull vodkas, you know.
Please fill me in with this daiquiri thing.
Yeah, what's the daiquiri thing?
You know when the classic, you see pictures of Vegas and you got the super tall bottles. And you can wear them from your neck.
I actually don't know what you're talking about.
I think they're frozen too.
Oh, those things.
Frozen
Yeah.
daiquiris.
No, that has too much sugar. I don't know. That will give me a...
You need a Hemingway daiquiri because those have no sugar. Because he couldn't digest sugar or something.
All I know is I went last year, and that's the only thing I couldn't get because the line sat in line for 45 minutes. Everyone wanted their frozen daiquiris, and I couldn't get mine, and I gave up. I said, "I'm leaving this line."
That's not like Quinn to give up. So it must have been a really long line.
Mm-hmm.
It was, especially when I was like, I could get there's like convenience stores and other places to get drinks, and line just wasn't moving.
Is it free?
No.
Nothing's free in Vegas.
It's not free.
I thought the drinks. People have told me they give you free drinks when you're gambling.
If you're at a table, yeah. But you're not going to bring like a 4-foot
daiquiri,
frozen thing. No, they bring you like
a pina colada flavored, please.
have pina
No,
colada.
Quinn, daiquiri is a flavor. It's a type like. There's no pina colada daiquiris. There shouldn't be.
That's like
Pina
saying a
colada is
Coca-Cola
pina
Pepsi.
colada. Yeah.
It's the Fat Tuesdays in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I saw those, Quinn. Emily enjoyed a Fat Tuesday, but
She got one. Did she have to wait in line?
Well, this was like a year and a half ago, but no, she didn't have to wait in line at all. I think it was at like 1 a.m. or something too.
It's a daiquiri bar, Grant. I don't know. I don't know much.
I think it's just
it's
fruity
probably a
rum
Las
drink.
Vegas thing. Yeah, it's probably a Las Vegas thing.
It's basically like 7-Eleven slushies, but with a bunch of alcohol in it, and they just give you a fun cup.
Yeah, doesn't that
hangs
sound
around your
great?
neck.
Yeah,
Play
walk
slots,
around.
and then you're like playing slots.
Because I was
Slots are
like,
crazy.
I said I'm getting the biggest one because I'm never waiting in line again after this.
Because it will tide you over.
I've never been to Vegas, and I've never like played legitimate slots, but like I feel like the closest thing is like when in Overwatch you can get like the Apex packs, and you're like, oh, this is kind of fun. But I feel like an actual slot machine is like so much stimulation. You're like, what? You're like cracked out. You're like, let's go.
And you don't even know what's happening because there's like
no idea.
There are so many rules of like, if you hit this, you get the bonus of this, and you'll activate this, whatever this. But like it literally like there's like one button, it's like, and then it's like you want more money per spin? Okay, hit that button. Less money, that button. Otherwise, spin. But then it's like lighting up, and then it goes slow motion, and it's like zipping around, and then it like highlights in on it. But then it's like you don't win anything. You're like, why did it do that?
Yeah, it's not like just like the numbers, just one line. Oh, I didn't get the 777. Damn it.
Yeah.
It's a million things going on. There are mini games.
Yeah.
And they all got their own themes.
So you need like the 4-headed samurai is gonna like lock you into the bonus round, but like you got the 5-headed samurai, so like that nixed your 4-headed samurai that got you into the bonus. And it's like all these rules that are all different for each of them. And it's crazy, and no one understands what's going on. They just hit buttons. No,
No, it wasn't fun.
I'm literally just like, where's my money?
What you got to do, Grant, this is my high-level advice just from one time of playing. You have to play until you hit the minigame.
Okay.
Because that's where like you get
minigame?
the money game. Yeah, they all got some dumb version of a minigame. Because that's where the money comes out. And if you don't hit it, you're not going to make any money. I mean, I just $50 disappeared. I was like, that's That sucks.
Did you hit the minigame?
You're
No, I saw someone next to me hit it. I was like, oh, I have to like keep playing, and then you'll win like $100 or something from the mini game. So you're even-ish.
You're telling me slots, I can't just pull it and win. I have to play a minigame?
You don't even
Before I
pull
win
it.
any money?
You push the button.
Yeah, you don't pull it. You might pull it to activate the minigame. Like,
Yeah,
that's
maybe
what
that's
the pulling is
No,
for.
you don't even get the tactile sensation of pulling.
There's no tactiles in
Nah,
Vegas.
you just hit the button.
Okay, and what's an example? Like, do I have to win the minigame? Like, is there skill involved or like?
No.
No, it'll
the
be like
minigame, the minigame, like it's like a digital version of me at another slot machine, like
No.
pressing slots.
No, it's
Oh,
like a different look on the same. They take you to like a bonus arena or whatever.
It's like a-
and then
maybe-
the same numbers happen again or same pictures, whatever.
a Wheel of Fortune
Scratch
type
off.
thing. So
Yeah.
if you get the 4 Wheel of Fortune things, then you get to play the Wheel of Fortune,
The
and then you spin it
golden wheel.
around, and you're guaranteed
Oh, it's a prize wheel.
$25 or something.
Okay.
Well, we'll see, Grant. We'll see. We're coming up.
We are coming up. Yeah.
I've also been telling Pat, I'm learning how to play craps. So we're gonna play some craps. Get to Vegas.
Do you have you learned? Have you started your learning?
I feel confident enough right now that I could walk up to a table and do some simple bets. So
Damn. But Quinn,
I
all
need
right,
to watch
say
some
you put your
YouTube videos.
first simple bet down
yeah.
and someone yells at you. The whole table gets real pissed.
So why? Okay, I guess I'll just have to watch a video. Craps, your craps bet can affect me.
No, my bets don't affect your bets.
But the whole table plays together, pretty much.
Yeah, there's one person rolling the dice at a time, and you can bet with that person, like you're hoping that person wins, or you could bet against.
Bet
them.
against them.
And
Table
everyone's
gets a little
very
mad.
superstitious.
Oh,
Even in blackjack,
wanna
like
put-
if you don't hit at the right time, everyone just looks at you and like
yeah.
they get a little upset. And then if they bust and they're like, "You were supposed to take that car.
That was your call.
That was your goddamn fault, kid. Get out of my table."
I feel like people are just aggressive when it comes to gambling.
Could be. Yeah, you're drinking.
Free
a lot of money on the
drinks.
line.
I've lost $780 this hour.
Yeah, I've only been at a casino once, and it was on Friday, so it was on payday. These people were fucking. It was wild.
Get my payday.
I played fucking roulette. I was like, how? You don't need to know anything with
Yeah.
roulette. And I lost like 10 in a row, just going like. I think I was just going like. Like red. I was like, fuck it, I'll go black. And I just like lost every single time. I was like, all right.
So you were
That's
just
it.
doing the. Yeah, red, black,
like
and
the-
losing.
Yeah,
losing.
that's it.
Losing.
That's all I was doing was red or black, and I lost like 6 times in a row, and I like lost like $150. I was like,
You're like, fuck this, man.
I'm like, I have like $20 more that I was gonna spend, so I'll find something to do.
It reminded me of so there are some people who liked roulette who I were with, but they would only play roulette if they saw a table that had like 6 reds in a row. And they're like, I'm betting black on that one. That's free money. And it was
Did
like
it win?
no, because it doesn't matter. There were 6 reds in a row.
It matters.
That's our long-standing.
Yeah, I
Debate
was like,
with
nothing,
Grant.
nothing changes in friend groups, you know. There's just like the I don't know.
Stubborn. That would be a whole
They're just
podcast.
two kinds of people. Yeah.
Did you win any money?
Me? No, I lost everything, but I didn't go to the ATM, so that's good.
How much? So last time you and our friend Jack went, and at least the advice I think Jackson gave me was, and I think you echoed it, was like you need $500 to like bet. Like I would come next time. I would come with $500 to gamble. Do you still agree with that?
Yeah, I think that's
You lose
fair.
$500?
I did lose $500, yeah.
Okay.
But it was like spaced out, so it was like
Had a
equivalent
fun
each
time.
night.
You
Yeah.
spent $500.
Table games or slots or?
No, I didn't spend any of my money on slots, but I like sat with someone who put $50 in. I was
They
like,
were losing.
yeah,
both losing
we were
money?
trying to figure out what was happening. It was like, why do we win there?
It gets fun once you're loaded. You're like, what the fuck's going on?
Because it's just crazy. I don't know how the sound is like just coming at you. But no, it was pretty much all blackjack. Which
Nice.
is just
Blackjack's
Nope.
a lot of fun.
I thought Pai Gow was your game.
that I was looking at it, I'm like, how the fuck do you play this?
I forgot.
Yeah. Because it is
Blackjack is a lot.
it's
of
like
fun. Isn't
old
blackjack like notoriously the best bet, like the best odds?
yeah, or
it's like
some
49
sort
to
of poker
51
or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought betting red and black and roulette was,
I think
was up
that
there.
might be the worst.
As far as table games. Yeah, it was very accessible. You just kind of get the
I like
idea.
blackjack.
Yeah.
Play some
But they do
blackjack.
like, you can't count like, don't they do like 4 decks now?
8 on most of them. It's $25 a hand.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, the last thing I will say is I think the place we'll be at has a very low entry
$5 a hand.
minimums. $5 tables. Yeah.
The strip is pricey at night. We would go at night, and like that's when it's crowded, so they want to keep the riffraff out. Maybe in the morning or something, it'd be $10, but
Night it's 25.
Riff-raff.
they're taking advantage of these people.
Fuck, man. All right, what are we talking about today, boys?
I kind of sprung a surprise on you guys last week because I had done some research. We watched The Matrix, and what we had loaded up was The Matrix Reloaded, which is like part of the trilogy. I had done some research, and people have mentioned a ton of times the Animatrix, which is also it's an anthology, right, of shorts, all in the Matrix universe, all animated. And it's I think the suggestions I was reading is watch this before The Matrix Reloaded. And yeah, it was made in 2003 like the other 2 movies.
Like everything else. So what did you think, Grant?
They were all enjoyable. Like I enjoyed them all, and I was pretty impressed at points with the animation level of 2003. It's like this was pretty good animation, especially the last short.
Did we all watch on HBO Max?
Yeah.
I did. Yes.
Okay.
Let
Because I was
me
wondering
pull
if the
up.
order mattered.
Yeah, everything
Yeah.
I've looked up, like it starts with the final flight of the Osiris, but like I think that was the last one
Mm-hmm.
in HBO Max.
Oh, really?
I don't know how they were released
Oh, yeah.
beforehand. Like obviously in the HBO Max stuff, it's all bundled together and you just throw it up. But like, how did this come out? Like VHS? I don't know. Like, I don't
They
know.
were released in like weekly.
It's a TV.
It was like weekly releases. Yeah, let's see. Some of them were shown in movie theaters like ahead of time for like random related films, such as The Dreamcatcher. So kind of like a Pixar movie, has a little short in front of it. And then there was like a DVD and a VHS release of all of them together.
But was the order maintained?
So here, the cinema.
The order
running
was-
order, there's a cinema running order. And
What
yeah.
HBO released.
Oh, okay.
So it
All
started
right.
with Second Renaissance.
Yeah,
Kid
no,
Story
the final
program.
flight of the Osiris is last in the cinema running order.
Mm-hmm.
And
I just don't know why Wikipedia lists that like first
I
when everything else is.
don't know either.
It made $70 million. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I don't, so I guess the first, can we talk about the first 2? Because they're the Second Renaissance Part 1 and 2. I think they just make sense to talk about if we want to split it up. I liked these films a lot, and they totally immersed me. Like, if I did a rewatch, I could see myself watching these 2 and then starting The Matrix. Because once you know The Matrix, it's not going to spoil anything if you've already seen it. And, dude, it's, the Wachowski brothers, they were
Sisters now, Grant.
sisters. They're like, you can tell they're pretty woke. Like I like the humans were horrible people, right? Like humanity was just fucking awful to these robots and artificial intelligence, and it's really interesting to think about at any time, you know, in 2003, and it feels like, I don't know if every generation thinks this, but you know, it feels like it's closer, than a lot closer than it was in 2003 to reach a point of general artificial intelligence. Yeah, I liked the first two a lot. I thought it was really, it's very atmospheric. Like you're in the world of the Matrix. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I thought it was a great start, and definitely set a high bar for the other ones to follow. Just because it felt like it was the most connected. I know they were all like connected, but you know, I could kind of see that as like more of like
Yeah.
a large scale event rather than like a side story kind of episode.
Definitely,
And I
agree
like
because
that.
I feel like the other ones felt like they were short stories in the universe, but they weren't adding into the universe, right? Like a detective story was like, oh, this happened, but I'm not learning anything more about, or like, yeah, I'm not learning anything more about the universe itself.
Yeah,
I think
and,
I would, yeah, with that.
and even though like Trinity was in there, I felt like it like didn't.
She didn't have to be.
Yeah, and it doesn't like show anything we didn't already know about her character. Like it didn't drop any Easter eggs or anything.
Yeah.
I thought the first two, I think I just tend to think the opposite. You know, after you've already seen The Matrix, I felt like it didn't add too much that I needed to know. I feel like watching.
Can I challenge that a little bit?
Sure, you can challenge it, Grant. I'll
I
challenge it.
think when you watch The Matrix, anyone is going to side with Neo and Morpheus and the Resistance. And you're human. Two, like, that's the main characters are all on the Resistance. And I thought the first two provided a really good perspective of, you know, it is the Resistance, but hey, it's not like the robots were just fucking ruthless from the start. They were pushed to the point where they had to, it was an all-out global warfare, and the humans like that's the biggest. The sky is black. We didn't know that at all, and I don't even know if that's described in the films. We'll have to see. But the sky is black because the humans fucking wanted to get rid of
Destroyed.
solar
They mentioned
power.
that in the first film.
Did
That they destroyed. He had a little blurb, Morpheus,
Okay.
about destroying the sky because the machines were solar powered and humans were like, "Hey, I'm gonna get you now."
So don't you think that's adding a lot?
I see what you mean. Like it's the original root cause of why machines are oppressing humans now.
It's the start of the war.
It's the start of the war. I just didn't find it that interesting. I liked some of the one-off, like you said, it's you don't need to know it, but they're just kind of like short stories in the Matrix world.
Yeah.
I think you can kind of fill in the blanks a little bit when you have a story like this. I'm trying to think of what I thought before I watched the Animatrix. Like, I don't think was I all anti-machine and all pro-human? I don't know if you really even think about it. It's just kind of the state of the world.
Yeah.
The machines have taken over. And you get a glimpse into why.
You don't think we are kind of biased to be anti-machine though? We're shown like this terrible like nightmare of humanity, you know?
Yeah, just imagine and I think you get glimpse of this when you rewatch, but like when they fucking zoom out and show all the fucking bodies in the red shit, you're just like, and the music, you're just like, fuck, dude.
It's all dark and red. And
Yeah. They're literally using bodies. They're simulating like what the robot's doing is inhumane, for sure. Like it's
Factory
immoral.
farming.
But yeah, but I think the perspective like that adds a lot. You know, they're not just ruthless like fuck humans. It's like the
They
whole
pushed
thing
us.
with that initial trial too. The one I do have a note where the robot who like went rogue. I forget his name.
E something.
B166ER.
B166ER. He killed the cats. I was like, why'd you have to kill the
Why'd
cats?
you kill the cats?
He like slaughtered. There was like 4 cats and he killed them all. And that wasn't even the start. Like that's where I was like, oh, and then the robots like uprisen. Like no, they didn't uprise at all. The humans just started committing like genocide. Did they uprise after that? No.
Is it
then
genocide, Grant? If they're
Yeah.
machines?
Yes, and then the robots, yeah, they can feel and they're intelligence. But then they don't uprise after that. Then they have their own society that's successful because the humans stop giving a shit about their currency. So then they're beating humans at their own game. Do they start a war after that? No, they just try to assimilate. All they try to do is like, let's enter the UN, let's be peaceful. And then the humans say no again. Like, dude, like every step of the way, the humans are just like portrayed as like animalistic, like pigs, and the robots are obviously in this light portrayed as like the innocent. They were just trying to assimilate and live as equals. Like they were not asking for anything besides equality, and they were.
But he murdered the
Killed
cats,
and-
Grant.
Yeah,
I know. I see what you mean. I mean, it makes the situation a lot more complex and not as black and white.
Like everything in the world, I
Like
like it a lot. It's philosophical.
Yeah. I don't know. Talking about it provides more value. I mean, the more.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but you were saying the short stories, the ones that could live on their own too, right? Like in a way, like you could write that short story without the Matrix even existing, right? Because it's just like happening in a futuristic world. Like
Yeah, you wouldn't really know what is going on, but you'd be like,
So like, what was your favorite? Which one stood out for you the most?
my favorite one was World Record with
Yeah, I was
American
gonna say.
Dan Davis. That one was super cool. That one just sticks out the most for me. I don't know if it's the animation, music, just the story.
The animation cinematography was really good, I thought, where like it was a lot of close-ups of him and just like slow motion, and I thought that was really well done. And like you said, like that's the main thing. When I think of the short stories, I'm like, yeah, the world record one, like
That was cool.
that's the
And
one I
it
remember the
introduces
most.
like a new concept because that was the first time where I think they refer to it as self-substantiation, where you, I think they in the social circles they actually just say when a blue pill, like they refer to people trapped as like a blue pill, which is kind of funny, but but when a blue pill like is able to break out and to escape
He woke up.
without any help, so they do it
Yeah.
by themselves, and he did it by like fucking pushing the boundaries of the
His
Matrix.
leg broke and he kept on going.
He healed it.
Nuts.
Dude, and what like
I don't know
that's
if he
the
healed it.
animation I was talking about. It was like and then he just like running through it, and you're like, holy fuck, like, it's fucking G.
Yeah, and he looks so ghoulish too. Like the close-up slow motion shorts just looked like a monster. Even like they all did. Just the way their arms were going, it was crazy. It looked like he healed it though. He like snapped it back in. You saw it like break off, and then you saw it like reattach, kind of.
I think what I'm thinking of is at the end where he's in the wheelchair, he gets
Yeah.
kind of like a second life, and he like stands up and he's like freedom or whatever, free. But then after that, he just collapses. So I'm assuming he's
But then the guy
Messed up.
disappeared. Like then they zoomed out, and the guy's like, sit sit down.
Yeah,
And then he fell down, and then the guy who was saying sit down was no longer there. So I think he did something too to like hold him back. And what was he holding in his hands? Walnuts?
Oh, I don't know what those were. He was like
You
clacking
know?
them
Like
and then he
was like
dropped
clacking
it.
them and then
Oh.
he dropped them.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know. Yeah, it looked like some sort of nuts.
Walnuts, yeah.
That he- that-
But it could have been also like a symbolic, like he was neutered, you know, like they neutered the red pill, and then he dropped them in the end. Like,
Damn. Neutered the red pill. Damn.
that's what they kind of did, right?
Yeah, he was about to be free, and then he just took it from him. So you guys like that one too?
Yeah,
Dan
I thought that one
Davis,
was
yeah.
good.
Dan
He's a G.
Davis.
Your body can't handle it, Dan. You can run, but I won't be with you.
Yeah, he was.
What the fuck? That guy was a piece. He was. It's like you weren't qualified. He was a blue pill for sure.
He's blue pilled to hell.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad coach. Just abandoning you in the Olympics or whatever kind of world kind of racing event you're in.
I mean, you should know Dan Davis is like the reason why he's even in that position is to push himself, right? Like farther and whatever. Just because I forgot to read this note when we were going over it. I said the most unrealistic part of the first two was that mankind was teaming up against, like, it was like all of mankind against the robots. And I was like, that doesn't seem possible. Like, I feel like mankind
Like you'd
would
be like,
still
you're
be battling
Jewish. I don't want to
themselves.
be
Yeah.
partners with you.
I don't know. I think that
I like the machines.
we really hate people who are different. So I think if like someone else wanted to join our club of like humanity,
That's
I think
true.
we would really hate them together.
Yeah, are you
Yeah, you'd
warm
settle
blooded?
some-
You stupid lizard.
Fucking lizard brain.
You wish you had these circulatory systems.
Let's see.
Let's do
I
low
have a
lights.
note
Let's
that
do
says-
low lights.
Low lights. What did you not like? I already kind of went over. My
I just have
least
one
favorite.
question that you guys might be able to answer, and actually is, I said, who is the golden lady? And this was in Kids Story or Program.
Kid Story was like the
And the golden lady actually came back. I think now that I'd have to rewatch it, but Final Flight of the Osiris, like the golden lady was kind of like what those humans were injecting in the robots fantasy, you know?
I don't know what the golden
Okay.
lady is.
Okay, she resembled what we saw in the last short, you know, where all the humans were like kind of just flesh in the simulation, and there was like a golden lady. It's fine. Maybe I'll just rewatch it. I don't have much context besides I didn't know who she was.
okay.
Which is another problem with kind of these shorts. They get a little jumbly, and you're like, if you don't pop, some of them kind of, I don't know. There were 9 of them. It's not one cohesive. They all got different people in it.
I have always liked shorts. Like, so we would go to the Cleveland International Film Festival. I'm gone all the time, and the shorts are always the best because, like, if you don't like a short, it's not a big deal, you know. Like that's the best part. I just like shorts because of that. It's like they'll be done in 10 to 15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe, and if it's fucking horrible, it doesn't be over soon. Versus like when you're at the film fest, you go into a bad movie, you're like, do we leave?
Do people
Will it
leave?
get
Do people just
better?
get up? I'm like, I gotta go.
I've left in between.
Oh.
Grant and I fell asleep in one.
Did we?
It's just
Remember
Long.
the Archer style documentary about like some civil war in Africa?
Yeah, oh yeah. Where it's like half real, half Archer.
Mm-hmm. And your parents were with us, and we were just both asleep.
But sorry, to get off topic, you said the lowlights, Patrick.
Yes. Personally, I wasn't a big. Well, should I share first?
Go
Yeah,
for it.
go.
I wasn't a big fan of Kid Story. I didn't think that one was very interesting.
It was confusing.
Is that the one where the
that
kid
was
kills
Neo.
himself?
Mm-hmm.
But it was Neo.
No, he woke up with Neo.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it was
Oh
self-substantiation.
yeah.
Which
Neo
is
was the new Morpheus,
Yes, pretty much. Yeah.
essentially.
But it was just like I don't know. But I guess it's actually
what do you mean by Neo is the new Morpheus?
It
From, like, a
felt-
mentor kind of perspective.
Yeah, when you watch The Matrix, it's like on the phone is Morpheus for Neo, and then he helps him get out. And this
Oh,
was
okay.
The other
He was
scenario
talking to him
of
through the
Neo was
computer and shit. Okay.
talking to get this kid out.
he meets him for the first time. Like that's his first like real human he meets. You know.
The teacher really didn't want any cell phones in the classroom.
Yeah.
You know my policy on cell phones, Mr.
You're
Popper.
doing so poorly.
I turned it off. I swear.
Yeah, I don't know. I just saw it was a little bit weak, but I guess it's. I guess he's a that's a character in the next movie.
Really?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Too much.
Too much. Too much. It is
But
weird
yeah,
though,
that's
because
why I was, I don't know much, but I do know that this was recommended. Like, if you're gonna watch all of them, watch them right before the second.
Yeah.
I mean, but what are you supposed to think about that kid? He's like any kid that has delusions of reality and then they kill themselves. You're supposed to side with them, like he was just trying to get to the Matrix.
No, I mean,
It's just
No.
it's weird.
It is weird. It seems
How
like
was
an
he
edgy
able to-
teen, like fantasy.
But why? Yeah, and why was dying the way out? I understand like world records kind of cool because you're kind of pushing these physical limits. But like dying, I thought it was pretty clear. You die in the Matrix, you die in real life.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what to make of that.
Yeah, it kind of went against what we were told.
that's true.
I
Unless
don't
he's
know.
not the one, he's the two.
He's the two where you have
He's
to
the-
die first
It's the second
in
life.
the Matrix.
Well, that's how Neo became the one, right? He died.
Yeah.
Then he came back to life in the Matrix.
Exactly.
Exactly. This
By the
kid
power
is
of love.
he's in the ground in the tombstone.
There's nothing. Yeah, I thought that was a low light as we're kind of picking at it.
Going through it.
Yeah. And I just think the animation wasn't as good as some of the other ones. Wasn't as interesting. It was just a little bit.
Yeah, I think as far as low lights, not good things.
Oh, wait.
The detective one was all right.
Yeah.
Case to make all cases.
Cases. Nothing really even happened.
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
It was like, what is going on? And then I was so confused, like, at the end, they had, like, a weird, like, conversation in, like, half code. Like, it was so vague with Trinity and him. And then he's like, oh, I wish, like, I
knew
could
the
come. And
truth.
she's like, oh, something. Yeah. And then she's like, yeah. Like, me too, or something. And then she leaves, and then he stays there. Does he, like, die? Or, like,
I think she
was just
killed him.
confused.
Yeah. I think
She killed. Oh, okay.
When he
'Cause
was
he-
turning into Agent Smith or whatever. Was Agent Smith in all those, or was I just making?
I think so. Yeah, they're all like
Okay.
agents and they're all taking over bodies.
They definitely looked like Agent Smith, though, right? Like, okay.
Yeah, and if your body got taken over, like you got to go.
Stupid blue pill.
Yeah, I'd say my Detective Story was probably my least favorite, or Program. I didn't think Program really stood out for me. I don't want to read too much, but it looks like one of the characters makes their appearance in The Matrix Revisited.
Oh,
Which is
yeah.
a
I'm looking at that one
documentary?
too. That's where they were like, she had like a simulation to fight the dude, and
That was, but what he kept. Then he's like, I'm just wanna. He's like, come with me. To he wanted to go back to Blue Pill.
That was like your argument from last week, Grant.
Yeah, but why were they having the conversation? Like, he's like, it's too late. Like, he needed to like kill her or something. Like,
It was a training
then?
simulation, so he was testing her resolve. She was really committed.
Oh yeah. I forgot that she woke up. Yeah.
And then she
She
punched him in
know
the
it was
face.
a
That's
training?
good. Dude, I would have punched that dude like multiple times. I would not have just punched him. I would have like punched him, like knocked him out on the ground.
Yeah, that was a real bitch.
It was
move.
really like super emotional. Actually, that one was good. I forgot about the ending. I was confused. Yeah.
you thought it was good?
Yeah, I actually like that she woke up. She woke up. It's like, I don't know.
Went from Grant's least favorite to
No,
good.
that one, kid's story, detective story. Detective story is probably my least favorite.
I think they just played it out with Cypher already. You already get the I want to go back to the Blue Pill storyline.
That's not a storyline. It's like it's
concept.
It should, yeah, but it should be a recurring theme always. Like, that's why what makes the Matrix movies interesting in general is you always have to think what makes the truth inherently valuable, and that's what I was trying to get at. Like, why is it more heroic to know the truth? Is it at all? Like, why is there any inherent value of taking the red pill? I don't know.
It just
Think
they can do it in a different way. I feel like it's just I don't know. I guess
You
it
don't
had a
feel
cool
like they
fight
did it a different
scene.
way?
Like, the guy.
Maybe there's different reasons or different scenarios.
Well, think about this, Quinn. Maybe
Yes?
this is in a universe after Cypher, and they run this training program to prevent people like Cypher from breaking.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna. Yeah. Because
All
I
right.
feel like that
No
is
more
what's
ciphers.
different, you know?
Well,
Yeah.
maybe it do is it. My little brain cannot figure that one out. So
Yeah, you
technical.
go back to the Matrix, bro.
that sounds really good. Okay, I concede.
Honestly, I wasn't sure what was going on in whatever matriculated.
That was my favorite,
that
I think.
was
Okay.
that was your favorite? I mean, it was
so.
cool. It's like we're gonna put the machines in the Matrix of their own. Just kind of mind fuck you there.
Well, like I think the way they engineered and I actually I stopped reading, but I read that short I think comes into play. I don't know if it's in the next one or the third one, but it's relevant. And actually, no, I don't think they actually explain it, so I don't think I'm spoiling anything in saying this. Like, there will be robots teaming up with humans, and I don't think they explain it in the movies. They don't explain why the robots are on the human side. And this gives you, like, an insight into, like a backstory. Why would robots ever fight with humans? And I think it's incredibly, like, just so creative. Like, how are we gonna, like, if you're sitting down there being like, how do we make these, like, how would you brainwash a robot? And it's so surreal and, like, I mean, it's almost like a trip. There's, like, you think, what makes a human and like solidifies a human from a robot? And it's probably these surreal tripping things, this, like, energy, and, like, it was very animalistic, and they're kind of, like, making love, and they're giggling, and it's all, like, I thought they were able to immerse a robot so much in, like, this kind of human existence. I just
It's
thought
like
it was very
euphoric.
creative. It was
Yeah.
very creative, I thought. And they made him, like, they basically made him, like, believe in a religion. right? Like they indoctrinated him to like human religion because she was like this goddess figure that's saving him. Like they had to write that simulation and then they're playing it out to brainwash every human. Like that's brilliant. I loved it. I thought that was so creative. Like for I don't know if that was one of the shorts that the Wachowski sisters wrote themselves, but I thought that was very, very good, very original.
Yeah, it was like Robo MK Ultra or something like that.
Yeah. Thought it was good.
I thought it was a little over the top though, and like I don't know. Maybe it needed to be that way to kind of like get at what it was trying to show, but I would put it near the lower side.
Yeah, I see what you mean by over the top, and maybe that was necessary because it's a machine, and machines don't think like us, and it's just a different world that you need to put in the Matrix. So I don't even know if there's a different name. They don't really call it. I guess you don't live in the world either. You just kind of run them through a simulation, and then they retain those ideas afterwards. So yeah, it felt fitting. It could have ended on that one.
It was very interesting too. Where like I don't know if she died.
She did die.
Okay, she died while she was in the simulation. And then in those scenarios,
Not while she was. I mean,
yeah, because he plugged them both in, and he was like, "Yo, let's go back to this."
I like this.
And then she was scared, and then she just kind of disappeared. And so I didn't know if it was clear that she died.
I think she did, but they were all kind of ambiguous at some point though. So it could be a little bit of interpretation, which I feel like is also kind of interesting in short stories. Like you don't really like, because it's such a tight time window. Like you don't really have to like commit to a.
You can be lazy.
You can be creative, Clay.
Creative. Whoa, I misspoke.
Yeah.
I think definitely like because I've taken like creative writing classes, and like you're reading people's short stories, and you're reading a lot of like famous people's short stories, and like
you don't
the
even
ending,
know what's going on.
well, like you can like the endings can be really drastic, or like everyone can die, and like you have I feel like a lot more liberty than if you're creating a whole novel universe. You can't just destroy the whole universe. While you could destroy the whole universe with a short story, and it wouldn't necessarily make it like tacky and bad, you know. It's just like a glimpse into this, like because you weren't that committed anyways, because it's a short story, right? Like
Yeah,
universe
you can
is
try
gone.
things out.
yeah,
Sucks.
universe is gone.
Bye, guys.
I didn't know what this was rated, but I was like, can you show like robot boobs? Like if it's if because it wasn't clear it was a robot, but then it was a robot girl. She never top on. It's like, that's a thought experiment. I'm sure Grant would say we should be the same. Grant's a robot rights sort of dude.
I'm a sympathizer. I'm a robot
Yeah.
sympathizer.
Sort of
That's one thing I didn't understand at the beginning of those shorts is like you had like humans like protesting with the robots, and just knowing what we know, it's like they're not gonna remember you. You're still one of them. I don't know, like whatever. But I guess plot aside, I don't know if we want to talk briefly about like the animation itself. In terms of the cinematography, anything noteworthy to mention?
I don't think so, just because it was all different. I mean, they had like CGI, they had animation, slow-mo.
Cool though, and were you impressed?
Oh
Were
yeah,
you
yeah,
like-
it was good.
Yeah?
I it's hard to say like what if I had a favorite or not. I think just the choice of
record.
putting so many different things together makes it interesting. You're like,
Yeah,
oh
I'm
wow, that's rough,
I'm not
that's
sure if
smooth.
I'm not sure if I hate the final fight of the Osiris or if I liked it in terms of the graphics.
It's a little video gamey, but like
Yeah.
still good.
Yeah, like it was still
For
cool and
2003.
it was like good, but then I'm like, it's just next to all these things that are so different and like they were kind of cool in their own way too. So I'm like, do I actually like this or is it just like look cool? Like I don't know. It was weird, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't get to digest how things were put together.
Yeah, the only thing that I can really recall is World Record with the like what you're saying, like grotesque. It just is very visceral in terms, and that animation was like definitely stood out in terms of just it added so much to the storytelling, and I don't know if any of the others really added or subtracted, you know.
Yeah. The detective one was like dark and stormy, but like that one wasn't very good. Second
Noir.
Renaissance was very like, it was, yeah, LA over there. The Renaissance was very like flashy almost, like I don't know.
I thought
Like,
they
think
were
of, like Flash
all
games.
pretty similar. Besides, World Record stands out to me, and then Final Flight of the Osiris felt like it was completely different too because it was 3D.
But like Matriculated was also like very different.
That was cool. I like
Super
what you did.
trippy. Yeah.
Yeah,
And even
that
like
was more like anime. I felt like,
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
you know,
where it's like crazy surreal. Like,
yeah. And when she's like running and like baiting the runners to her, like it was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird. She could handle them.
But yeah, that's I guess the last thing I'll say is, you know, we talked about plot, we just talked about animation, cinematography. Is in terms of placement, I guess maybe we'll come back to this question. Like, are we glad we do? Was this
glad
a
we did this
disappointment?
class?
Yeah, like, are you? I guess maybe this will come in later when we do. You know, when it's a different time, when it's a certain time. But for the just, you know,
Was it important to watch these?
glad to. I've never really heard of them. I was glad
I
to
think
be
anyone's heard of
exposed
them, yeah.
to more of the Matrix universe before jumping into another Neo Trinity, you know, live action. This was like, it surprised me, I guess. You know, I didn't know what to expect at all, and I was like, oh, this is all good. And they would just keep on playing, you know. They never really ended. They just like kind of played into the next one. You're like, all right, this is
All right, here we go.
Enjoying this. Yeah.
A little cutscene with the numbers and then like the name of it, and then it's just onwards.
Yeah, I'm sure you could find like, I don't know, other animation for like, I don't know, like Lord of the Rings or something that was made by other people, and you're like, oh, this is cool, but this is like legit storyline part of the Matrix basically, and no one's ever heard of it. So at the moment, yeah, I'm happy I saw it and I'm aware of it, but we'll see if it answers any questions or makes anything else make sense in the future.
Yeah, I want to see how it ties in because I feel like it could, but I don't know. Like once it's fresh in our head, you know, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. And now, is it about that time? It's about that time. The G&Q patented review where we decide whether the true rating of the Animatrix is over or under the IMDb rating. And you know how, what was the Matrix, like 1.3 million? This is 74,000 votes,
Woo!
a fraction,
The
at
Matrix
7.
was like top 10, I think, most rated.
Something like that. 7.4.
Okay.
This is with our High Noon 3.
High Noon 3 Ninjas was a 7.4?
Oh no, like voting numbers, number of votes.
74,000.
That had 12,000.
Sorry, we're blowing you guys out of the water. Sorry, Don Dragon or Dave Dragon.
Hulk Hogan. 7.4. Any volunteers?
I'll go. I'm gonna say a little bit under. Well, I'm happy I watched it. I think that if you're gonna follow immediately The Matrix, you gotta follow hard. And that was 9 shorts. 9 is a pretty big number, you know, to all tie into one thing. And like, while I thought like 6 of them will be above that, they weren't so far above it that having 3 that I wasn't a fan of, you know, could drag it down. So I think if you're gonna pull out 9 shorts, you gotta go maybe keep it a little tighter. So I felt myself losing interest by the end. I don't know, a little bit, just because I was a little bit like oversaturated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I 7.4. Yeah, I think I gotta go under as well. Like I said, I didn't enjoy the beginning parts that much, even though you guys have some valid points. Really liked World Record. Detective Story, no, and then the other ones are kind of in between. So it's something cool. It's like figuring out. It's kind of like a behind the scenes of like a movie or a director's cut where you get like, oh wow, that's why that happened, and you get some more source material from the people that actually wrote the original that you really like. But it's like, if you didn't watch the director's cut, it doesn't really matter. The the original is sufficient and the most important. So I'm gonna go under.
I really want to go over, but I don't think I can.
You can, Grant. It's up to you.
It's your pick.
I think. Well, first, did you guys watch in one go? That's my first question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't, and I think it helped. And I think HBO should split them up. So once one ends,
9
it stops.
episodes.
Yeah, and then you can start the next one. Because once you get a low and you watch a bad one, maybe you go to bed for the night and you come back, and that's kind of what I did, where I was losing interest just in my first half of the watch. Then I came back and I was like reinvigorated.
I'm ready to go.
And like when Matriculated came on, I was like, oh, this is good. I will go under. I think as an average of the shorts, I think some shorts were higher than 7.4, but I think some were lower. And I think when you take the average, you're going to end up just under the 7.4, which is the bad number review. What can you do?
Feels like it was hard for you to say that, Grant.
Yeah, well, that being said, I think anyone who enjoyed The Matrix and is planning on watching all of them should watch this. I think it's definitely canon. I think it's definitely, you should watch this. And I haven't seen the other two, but with the reputation that they have, which is negative, this could be the best thing that follows The Matrix. It could be, which is sad to say, but that's a possibility.
Whoa, Redemption could be coming on Christmas.
Yeah, what about that, Grant?
I'm not at, I can't really speak to it until I see the other two yet. But I would not skip this. I definitely would recommend watching these.
All right.
And split them up. Stop them. You get bored with one, just stop and continue later.
Stop there.
I agree with your... I wish it was episodes on HBO Max.
Yeah, because then, if you're in the mood to binge them, you binge them. If you're not, you stop.
Makes sense. Yeah, it's 9 shorts.
Because then you could go back and watch Matrix. You gotta watch. They're not even in order. You could tell your friends to watch a specific short, and be good.
Yeah.
All right, 3 unders. What's going on next week, Grant?
We've talked about it. We've alluded to it. The 100th
Shrek?
episode was the last time, and we were doing something big, right? So we are diving into the Matrix universe. We did the Matrix. I pulled the Animatrix out of a hat, and I said, whoa, don't forget this. So we watched that one, and now we are watching The Matrix Reloaded. Let's see what we got here.
7.3. 7.2.
7.2. So The Matrix Reloaded is a 2003, another 2003 science fiction action film written and directed by the Wachowskis. It is a sequel. Let me see. Freedom fighters Neo, Trinity, and Morpheus continue to lead the revolt against the Machine Army, unleashing their arsenal of extraordinary skills and weaponry against the systematic forces of oppression and exploitation. In their quest to save the human race from extinction, they gain greater insight into the construct of the Matrix and Neo's pivoted role in the fate of mankind. Premiering May 16th. Come to your theaters, May 16th, 2003.
Damn it, I just missed it.
Just because we let one thing we talked about last podcast, we were like, why did they release all of these in 2003? Just to add to the absurdity. Enter the Matrix, the video game, also came out in 2003 and has an hour of actual cutscene footage, which we're not, I don't think we're going to watch, but it's like, when people list the video game and like watching, you're like, okay, I'm not going to play the fucking video game. It's an hour of fucking like cutscene footage that's not in any of the films and not in these shorts. And you're like, Jesus Christ, like this is canon material if you're really a Matrix nerd, you know?
Yeah. If you're going deep, yeah, you got to check out that
2003.
YouTube compilation.
Like, when was the Matrix? 99?
Oh,
Yeah, they were
The Matrix
cooking
was
everything up.
99. They got all this money and they're like, let's just
Huge.
like
Ass blast, though.
yeah.
four,
Well, I think-
no, three, yeah, four things.
Well, I think it's just because Lord of the Rings really made it popular. That like you could just film, you just blow a bunch of money in 1 year and film for a whole year, all your
Just get
material,
it all done,
and
yeah.
release it, rather than like filming for 4 years a little bit.
But maybe they could have, like,
Maybe I heard.
waited a little bit. Film it all at once and, like,
Yeah.
let it flow a little bit.
I don't know. I guess it was pretty popular back then to like release things pretty close together.
8 years old.
Yeah. Keep people hooked.
All right, The Matrix Reloaded. Anything else, Grant?
No, that's all I got. Next week, Matrix Reloaded. Anything else from you guys?
Nope.
Cool. Well, thank you all for listening. Please join us for next week, The Matrix Reloaded. I hope you enjoyed our review of the Animatrix. Maybe you learned something. Maybe you didn't know about the Animatrix. I feel like it's not that well known. I
A
recommend
little bit of
it.
a
Check it
hidden
out.
gem.
Yeah, a little bit of hidden gem, especially if you like world building. It was definitely a world builder in terms of the Matrix universe, which was cool. Yeah, thanks for listening. Join us next week. In the meantime, maybe you have a favorite short of the Animatrix that you liked. Maybe that golden lady that maybe I had a pipe dream about that. Maybe you know exactly what I'm talking about. I know who she is. I don't know. If
Grant's
you do,
trying to find his golden girl.
you can reach out to us through an email, feedback@gqreview.com. You also can DM us, follow us, like our post. We have a Twitter and an Instagram, and our handle is @GQReview. That's all I got. We will all see you guys next week. Thank you for listening.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.